Welcome to the GoalZero Toolbox Talk series. Today's Toolbox Talk: Diesel fuel. Diesel fuel powers many different types of equipment and vehicles, and exposure to it can be hazardous to your health. Contact, either direct or indirect, with diesel fuel can irritate the skin and cause respiratory problems. Here are some precautions to help minimize excessive exposure. Be sure diesel equipment is properly maintained. Check for any exhaust leaks. Fix cracks in vehicles and repair holes in the floor to prevent exhaust from entering the vehicle. Always be sure to properly clean up spills. Use exhaust ventilation fans. Minimize diesel engine operations while inside garages without adequate ventilation. Always avoid direct contact with diesel fuel. Always be sure to wear the appropriate personal protective equipment, PPE, when working with or around diesel fuel. Wash any skin or clothing thoroughly if diesel fuel contact is made. If you are overexposed to diesel vapors, leave the area immediately and take deep breaths of fresh air. Always turn the machine off when fueling a vehicle with diesel fuel or gasoline. Exhaust from diesel engines contains a mixture of gases and very small particles called DPM, diesel particulate matter. DPM includes soot particles made up primarily of carbon, ash, metallic abrasion particles, sulfates, and silicates. Diesel soot particles have a solid core consisting of elemental carbon, with other substances attached to the surface, including organic carbon compounds known as aromatic hydrocarbons. Symptoms of diesel exhaust fume exposure include short-term headache, dizziness, and irritation of the eye, nose, and throat. In 2012, diesel exhaust was listed as a known carcinogen. Long-term exposure can increase the risk of cardiovascular, cardiopulmonary, and respiratory disease, and lung cancer. Engineering controls are the most effective strategy for minimizing worker exposure. These are physical changes that we make to the equipment or workspace to remove the exhaust before it affects the people working in the space. Routine preventive maintenance of diesel engines to minimize emissions. Installing engine exhaust filters and upgrading equipment with DEF treatment.
Using special fuels or fuel additives, e.g., biodiesel and DEF. Diesel exhaust fluid is a steady stream of liquid sprayed into the exhaust that reduces the amount of harmful emissions leaving the engine.
Providing equipment cabs with filtered air. Administrative controls are the rules that we set up for our employees and others using our equipment. These are only effective when they are enforced and could look like this. Minimize traffic on site. Prohibiting or restricting idling. Restricting the amount of diesel-powered equipment in specific areas.
Designate areas that are off-limits for diesel engine operation, i.e., indoors or in tight spaces with many workers,